Hey folks, want to jump on here and shoot a quick solo podcast. This one is going to be on startup with the startup. For those who don't know, I'm in Byron Bay at the moment in New South Wales. It is whale watching season. I was at the pass yesterday and there's a view there you can see across the Pacific Ocean. It's amazing. Also back in the gym, so exciting times. I had a shoulder injury. It's getting a lot better. My ankle, but mainly my shoulder. Anything else to add? Still have the business registered in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Unfortunately, we've taken a bit of a pause. There's a number of changes happening, so all will be revealed in the next while. But let's jump into the episode. Do my best to keep this around 15 minutes. Just over on ChatGPT. A startup is a young company created to solve a problem with a product or service that can grow rapidly, scale, often using technology and often funded by investors. Unlike a traditional small business, a startup is typically designed to expand far beyond one location or a local customer base, and that's on Merriam-Webster is the source. A simple comparison: startup built for rapid growth, small business built for steady profitability. And a startup often seeks venture capital or angel investment. Small business often funded by the owner or bank loans. Startup tests ideas quickly and pivots based on feedback. Small business usually follows a proven business model. Startup may prioritize growth before profits. Small business usually aims to become profitable as soon as possible. Example, an AI software platform serving customers globally is a startup. A local cafe, surf shop, or plumbing business is usually a small business, even if it's newly opened. And then it goes on a little bit further. There's some nuance there and for example, startups can also use a proven business model and a number of other things. But let's continue. A startup is more than just a newly formed company. It's an organization searching for a repeatable, scalable, and profitable business model. In the early stages, the founders are testing assumptions about the product, customers, pricing, and distribution rather than simply operating an established business. Key characteristics of a startup: number one, solves a real problem, addresses a pain point or an unmet need. Customers are willing to pay because the solution creates meaningful value. Number two, scalable. Revenue can grow much faster than costs. Technology is often the enabler, but not always. One software platform can serve 10 customers or 10 million customers. Number three, high uncertainty. Most assumptions haven't been proven. The team experiments, measures results, and adapts. Number four, innovation. Doesn't have to invent new technology. Can innovate through business model, customer experience, distribution, pricing, technology. Number five, growth focus. Aims for significant expansion over a relatively short period. May target national or global markets from day one. Typical startup lifecycle: stage one, idea, identify a problem, research the market, speak with potential customers. Stage two, validation, build a prototype or MVP, minimal viable product, test with early users, gather feedback. There are plenty of resources out there online. You can look them up about if you want to know go into more detail about a minimal viable product. Gather feedback. Stage three, pre-seed, often 2 to 10 employees, little or no revenue. Founder funded or angel investment, building the first real product. Typical uses of capital: product development, hiring engineers, customer research, legal setup, initial marketing. Stage four, seed. Goals include demonstrate product market fit, grow users or revenue, build repeatable sales and marketing. Stage five, Series A. Focus shifts to scaling the team, expanding into new markets, improving operations, accelerating customer acquisition. Stage six, growth. Series B, C, and beyond. The company may expand internationally, launch additional products, acquire competitors, prepare for an IPO or acquisition. Common startup funding sources: number one, founder savings, bootstrapping. Number two, friends and family. Number three, angel investors. Number four, accelerators and incubators. I mentioned them on the show previously. You can go back and have a look. Number five, venture capital. Number six, strategic corporate investors. Number seven, government grants. Number eight, revenue from customers. Startup metrics investors often look at: if a startup has launched, investors may evaluate monthly recurring revenue or annual recurring revenue, which we talked about as well on the show. Customer acquisition costs, CAC. lifetime value, LTV, churn, burn rate, runway, gross margin, monthly user growth, retention. For pre-revenue startups, investors often place more weight on team quality, market size, customer interviews, product progress, early traction, e.g. pilots, waitlists, partnerships, technical capabilities. What makes a startup attractive to investors? Many venture investors look for a combination of a large addressable market, often measured as TAM, that's in caps, TAM, a strong founding team, a compelling product, clear customer demand, a scalable business model, evidence that customers are adopting the product, defensible advantages such as proprietary technology, network effects, or strong execution. Just a quick example. Examples include Apple's iOS operating system, Adobe Photoshop, or Investopedia's general definition of in-house corporate software. It's all to do with tool, process, or system owned exclusively by a company that gives them an edge over competitors. Haven't heard this term in a while, but it's good. Very interesting. Let's continue. Why most startups fail. Common reasons include building something customers don't actually need, running out of cash, weak product market fit, poor execution, intense competition, pricing mistakes, founder conflict, hiring too quickly, ineffective go-to-market strategy, startup versus traditional business, which we've already got into a bit. Just quickly, a startup searches for a scalable model. We've already got into this. Startup success by the numbers. While estimates vary by source and definition, many startups never reach profitability. Only a minority raise institutional venture capital. Of those that do raise VC, only a relatively small percentage become very large or have become very large. Outcomes, sometimes called, quote, unicorns, end quote, privately held companies valued at US $1 billion or more. Venture capital relies on a small number of exceptional successes to generate returns across an entire investment portfolio. In other words, startups are inherently high-risk ventures, but those that achieve strong product market fit and scale successfully can create outsized economic impact compared with traditional small business. And a deeper way to understand startups is to think about them through four lenses: economic, strategy, execution, and finance. Number one, economic engine. Every startup is trying to answer one question: can we create value for customers in a way that becomes increasingly profitable as we grow? Unlike many traditional businesses, startups often invest heavily upfront to build technology, acquire customers, and establish a market position before generating sustainable profits. For example, a software company may spend Australian dollars 5 million building a platform. The first 100 customers are expensive to acquire. The next 10,000 customers cost much less per customer. Eventually, revenue grows much faster than costs. This is the power of scalability. Number two, why venture capital exists. Banks generally lend against predictable cash flow or assets. Most startups have neither no profits, few tangible assets, uncertain outcomes. Instead, they have talented founders, intellectual property, a large potential market, rapid growth potential. Venture capital exists because a few highly successful startups can generate returns large enough to offset many investments that do not. Number three, the startup lifecycle in more detail. Idea questions include: is this a genuine problem? Question mark. Who experiences it? Question mark. How do they solve it today? Question mark. How they pay for a better solution? Question mark. Discovery. Founders often conduct dozens or even hundreds of customer interviews. The objective isn't to pitch a product, it's to understand workflows, frustrations, purchasing decisions, budget, existing alternatives. MVP, minimal viable product. An MVP, which I mentioned earlier, is the simplest version of the product that can test whether customers find it valuable. The goal is to learn quickly, not to build every feature. Product market fit. This is a major milestone. Signs of product market fit include customers actively returning to use the product, organic referrals, strong retention, increasing demand, positive unit economics. Many investors see this as the point where a startup moves from pivoting an idea to scaling a business. Number four, types of startups. Not all startups aim for the same outcome. Lifestyle startup built to prove income and flexibility. Examples: freelance designer, boutique agency, independent consultant. Small business startups. Examples: restaurant, gym, surf schools, cafe. The focus is on sustainable profitability rather than expansion. Venture-backed startup designed for significant growth. Examples include companies such as Canva, Atlassian, Stripe, and Airbnb. Don't know if I fully agree with some of this, but we'll continue. These businesses target large markets and often seek external investment to accelerate growth. Number 5, startup economics. We already talked about this. Investors often focus on whether growth creates value over time. Important concepts include gross margin, revenue minus the direct cost of delivering the product, burn rate, monthly cash spend, runway, cash available divided by monthly burn, customer acquisition costs, CAC, cost to acquire one customer, lifetime value, LTV, expected value generated by a customer over their relationship with the company. Healthy businesses generally aim for LTV to significantly exceed CAC or CAC. Number 6, competitive advantages, moats. As a startup grows, it seeks defensible advantages such as proprietary technology, which we already mentioned, brand recognition, network effects, large proprietary data sets, regulatory approvals, high switching costs, economies of scale. These can make it harder for competitors to win customers. 7, common funding rounds, stage, pre-seed, typical purpose, validate the idea and build an MVP. Seed, find product market fit. Series A, scale the business model. Series B, expand into new markets and teams. Series C plus, accelerate growth, acquisitions, or prepare for an IPO. Each round generally involves issuing new shares to investors in exchange for capital. Number 8, startup culture. Most startups emphasize fast decision-making, continuous experimentation, customer feedback, data-driven choices, small cross-functional teams, learning from unsuccessful experiments. The objective is to reduce uncertainty as effectively or efficiently as possible. Number 9, exit strategies. Founders and investors usually expect that a successful startup will eventually provide liquidity through one of several paths. Acquisition, a larger company buys a startup. Initial public offering, IPO, the company lists its shares on the public stock exchange. Secondary share sales, existing shareholders sell some of their shares to new investors while the company remains private. An exit allows founders, employees, and investors to realize the value of their equity. Number 10, why startups matter. Startups play an important role in many economies because they can introduce new technologies, increase competition, create jobs, attract investment, improve productivity, generate entirely new industries. Many of today's largest technology companies began as small startups with only a handful of employees and an idea. While most startups remain small or do not succeed, those that achieve product market fit and scale can have a disproportionately large economic share.